What's up, guys? Hopefully you can hear me. It's a little bit loud in here. I tried to find a quiet space. I'm at the T-Mobile Arena. I'm trying this YouTube live thing. I'm just winging it, guys. I've never done this before, so bear with me. But I can turn around here and show you the doors. Crowd's still outside for the most part. We're still, over an hour away from when the weigh-ins start. I think they start at 2 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock Eastern. And then, of course, the pay-per-view fighters will come on about a half hour or so after the festivities start. But the party's already got started outside. I would go out there and show you guys that, but it's way too freaking loud. And then you probably can hear a little bit of rumblings of music inside here behind that wall. That's where the actual arena is, and it's crazy, crazy loud in there. So I figured I'd come out here and just talk a little bit about this fight and this weigh-in, because the thing is, this weigh-in, and I don't think this is being me being hyperbolic, if that's even a word, me using hyperbole. When I say that, it is one of the most anticipated, heavily scrutinized weigh-ins for, I don't know, the last decade, the last 2 decades. I can't think of another weigh-in where there's going to be more people paying attention to the A-side fighter, Canelo Alvarez. He's still the A-side here regardless. I feel he lost the first fight, as many of you do. He's still the A-side guy. But everyone's going to be watching, because here's the thing with Canelo Alvarez. He's visibly smaller than he was this time last year. Visibly smaller, less muscle tone. Now, is that him and his team preparing to go harder in this fight, go more rounds, have more energy so they don't give away half the rounds that they did, in the first fight? Or is it him losing muscle because there was something going on before the whole clenbuterol thing happened? That's what everyone's going to be paying attention for today. So here's the thing. If Canelo looks drained and barely makes weight today and comes in right at 160, the internet's going to blow up, and people are going to say this guy can barely make weight. He was using clenbuterol before to shred and cut weight, to make weight, unnatural weights, etc., etc. If he comes in light, if he comes in at 157, 158, the internet's doubly going to blow up, because people are going to say, all right, this dude cut a bunch of muscle because he's not doing whatever he was doing before. So there has to be something going on before, because he's so much lighter now than he was just a year ago. So either way, Canelo, if he doesn't come in at like 159 and a half or something, the internet's going to blow up. People are going to really be paying attention to him. Also, of course, the fight tomorrow, I think we're going to get a lot of questions answered in Canelo's performance. But we have the hand wrap scandal, right? The stacking of the wraps. People are going to be talking about that. And then there's issue with the gloves now, because Canelo wanted to use this new brand, No Boxing, No Life. Well, some of those gloves were used last night in a Golden Boy card, and there were issues with the gloves. So now apparently he's using, last I heard was he's using winning gloves. There's speculation that he hurt his hand. There's all kinds of rumors going around. So much drama around Canelo. And I do think that a lot of the talk, the trash talk on Triple G's side, has gotten in his head. And that's why I think what Abel Sanchez especially, but also Canelo-Golovkin and even Loeffler a little bit, Loeffler is always very, very coy about the way he does these things, but the way they've put accusations out there and everything else about the performance-enhancing drugs, the hand wraps, all this stuff, has got Canelo and his team frustrated. And look, Canelo's been here, he's experienced, he's been on the big stage now for years, ever since he was a young pup against Floyd Mayweather here in Vegas. So he's heard all the noise before. He's one of the most popular sports figures in Mexico. He's used to all the media scrutiny. So you would think he can handle this and take it all in stride. But I still say, my prediction, that if there are some tough moments tomorrow night, he's going to start thinking, man, are people going to start wondering about the whole clenbuterol thing? He might get in his head about that. And I think that the psychology of this fight is more interesting to me than, the fight, of course, is exciting, and I'm excited for it. But the psychology of this fight is so different, and it's so loaded. The psychology factor of this fight might be higher than any big, high-profile fight like this we've seen in years. I think it's higher in terms of the psychology than the Mayweather-Pacquiao thing was. Knowing everything that was going on behind the scenes with that fight, which we didn't know about till after, but that's another story for another day. So, okay, back to Canelo. If he comes in 157, 158, I really think the internet's going to blow up. And you guys are going to see memes and GIFs in side-by-side pictures of what you look like at the last weigh-in, what you look like at this weigh-in. In fact, you know what? It doesn't matter what the hell he weighs. People are going to be posting those pictures. So again, this is going to be a heavily streamed, heavily viewed weigh-in. I can tell you from the crowd, inside and outside, it is pretty packed, and I'm actually surprised. You know, the buzz and the hype for this fight was not what it was for the first fight. And you guys all felt that. We felt that energy, right? But I told you guys, come fight week, come the week of the fight, just days before the fight, shit's going to heat up. There were some tickets still available this week. That in and of itself is a big change from last year. Part of that is people being burnt out, people being turned off by Adelaide Bird's scorecard last year, people being turned off by the clenbuterol, the suspension, the delay, all that stuff. But also part of it is because the ticket prices were higher. But in the end, it's a sellout. So we got another sold-out fight. It's going to break the numbers that last year's fight did. I think it likely will sell more pay-per-views. It might not, but I think it could. I think it very well could. So in the end, boxing still wins. When you get the best fighting the best, people still show up, regardless of all the crazy fuckery happening behind the scenes and sometimes right in front of you. So, okay, also, David Lemieux, Spike O'Sullivan. The WBA just chipped in and made that fight more intriguing for them. I told you guys, that fight is basically the Canelo sweepstakes, because you know I'm picking Golovkin by decision tomorrow. The winner between Lemieux and O'Sullivan is Canelo Alvarez's comeback fight if he loses tomorrow night. Even if Canelo wins now, though, I still think Canelo's going to fight that winner next, because both Lemieux and O'Sullivan have relationships with Golden Boy, but now the WBA has chipped in. It said the winner of this fight gets an eventual crack at the WBA champion, who right now is Gennady Golovkin. Mind you, Japanese fighter Ryota Murata has had a piece of the WBA title for a while now. He got robbed against Hassam Nadam the first time around, beat him decisively the second time. He's got a fight coming up against Rob Brandt. I think he's going to win that fight big. But Tom Loeffler and Team Golovkin have expressed interest of going over there to Japan. And should they win tomorrow night, I think that's their next move. If they don't have any injuries, no bumps or bruises or anything, they could go over there and fight on New Year's Eve, which is a big tradition over there in Tokyo. Murata does tens of millions. I think he did over 30 million viewers for his last title fight, or I think the second Murata fight at least, total views around the world. So he moves the needle, right? So I think Golovkin's going that route. Win, lose, or draw, he's going to Ryota Murata next. I think Canelo is fighting Lemieux, O'Sullivan winner. That's where he's going. So for David Lemieux, I think he has more levels, more experience, punches harder, and is just the overall better athlete than Spike O'Sullivan. However, he's a party boy. He loves to eat. He's got a big midsection. You guys who follow me, you know, you've heard me say a bunch of times, I've seen him here in Vegas after fights, at the casino an hour later, dressed up in a suit, hair slicked back, out with his crew, out having beers, gambling, partying with chicks. So he's a playboy. And you know, he's a good-looking dude. The ladies love him. He doesn't have the most discipline between fights. And he's had a few big title fights. He's made some money. So is that going to affect the psychology of that fight? For O'Sullivan, this is his big chance. And I don't know, if both guys show up, make weight, everything looks good, 160, a piece of the WBA championship is on the line for them. And again, that just puts them in the Canelo sweepstakes, in my opinion. So that is going to be such a fun fight. In terms of two-way action, you're not going to see the most skills, but in terms of two-way action, that's going to steal the show. Jaime Munguia is fighting. He's fighting a dude from Canada that's pretty much being brought in to bleed. He's a tough guy. He's going to take shots. He's not going to quit, but that's going to be part of why they brought him here. He's going to bleed, and Munguia is going to get a decisive highlight reel knockout. I think Jaime Munguia is going to get the knockout of the night, tomorrow night. Now, some of you guys have asked me on Twitter, should Munguia get a fight against the winner next, whether it be Golovkin or Canelo? I don't think he's ready for that, obviously. I think he needs to stay at 54. And one of you guys asked me, I'm sorry, bro, I'm forgetting your name. One of you guys asked me earlier today on Twitter, what's a bigger fight right now? Triple G Murata or Triple G Munguia. Triple G Murata, much, much bigger, okay? And so far, Ryota Murata, say what you will about him, he's the more proven fighter. Now, 3, 4, 5 years from now, Jaime Munguia might be the biggest thing in boxing. He's got the potential. He's got the looks. HBO's already all in on him. He's got the style. He's just got to develop the craft a little bit more and settle into his man strength a little bit more. But right now, Murata, Olympic gold, he's got a title. He's got what should be 2 wins over Hassam Nadam. He should have an undefeated record. And he does tens of millions of live views over in Japan. So a Triple G Murata fight is much, much bigger than a Triple G Munguia fight right now. And it's actually a better fight in terms of actual action because Murata's a little more experienced and schooled right now, and just style-wise, I think he'd actually go more rounds. And I know some of you will find that controversial, but just Munguia, you know, he's got to gradually step up. I think Murata is as ready as he's ever going to be for a fight against Triple G or Canelo. So again, that's where I think both guys are going afterwards. I think Canelo's going for the winner of Lemieux and O'Sullivan. I think that Golovkin is going for Ryota Murata. One more fight to talk about. Chocolatito, he's coming back. Fighting a Mexican experienced veteran who's been around, but has also been stopped. So if Chocolatito is anywhere near, and I'm talking 50, 60% near the form that he once was, and we thought he was pound for pound the best in the sport, at least one of the top 2 or 3 guys, he should get a knockout tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting to see what a year or so of rest for him has done. I still can't tell you the weight that fight's supposed to be at, because I've heard conflicting things, so I don't want to tell you guys, but I don't know if that's going to be at 115. I don't think he's melting back down to 115 for that fight. We'll find out in a few minutes here. But let's see. I'm trying to see what time. Guys, I see a bunch of comments there. Appreciate all you guys watching live. I see you got a bunch of you guys on here. I can't respond to all of you. I got security over here. I got people running around. I can't. I'm juggling a bunch of things here. But I wanted to give you guys just a little bit of just a view that you're not going to get from ESPN and all that, because of course they're going to have this on SportsCenter and everything. If I go in there, it's just going to be way too damn loud. But I can tell you that just around the casino and everything today, the energy is building up. The Mexican fans are definitely here. And the DJ asked when I was in there earlier setting up in the arena, how many of you guys are from California? Half the damn crowd cheered. So it's obvious that a lot of the fans from Southern California, the Mexican-American fans, made the trip up here to watch this fight. So everybody has showed up, and I'm excited, man. I mean, look, the hype isn't what it was before, and I understand that there's been a lot of issues, a lot of drama, but this is still the 2 best middleweights in the world. And this is the biggest event of the year, not just in boxing, but in fight sports. Nothing in MMA comes close to this. So when you have the event of the year, the 2 best fighters in the division, and it's a rematch, and both guys don't like each other. And by the way, that shit ain't for the camera. These 2 guys do not like each other anymore. I'm excited for it, man. I think we're gonna have a special event tomorrow. Let's see. NK says Saunders beats both. I don't think so, bro. I think some of you Billy Joe Saunders guys are getting a little ahead of yourself with that. Do you need me to move, bro? Are you set?
I'm letting you finish.
All right, no.
You're supposed to have that stick in here at all.
I can't have this in here?
So put it up.
All right. 60 seconds for me to close this, and then I'm out. All right. So, all right, they're making me, I can't have the selfie stick in here, believe it or not, even though I have a media credential. I don't know what the hell that shit's all about. I got a bunch of other equipment, but I can't have a selfie stick. So I'm gonna wrap up here, guys. Keep following me on Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, everything else. And I'll try to do more of these live videos throughout the weekend. And they're kicking me out of the lobby here so I can go into the arena and have some fun. All right, guys, I'll see you at the fights. How the hell do I stop this thing? Okay, I think this is it. Peace.